Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. This is the first mailbag recording session since I've had the roof on the workshop done. And I thought I'd come out here on a Sunday morning when it's nice and cool in September and record some mailbag items, only to find that it actually took me 2 hours to set the studio back up with all the cameras and lights because I took them all down for the roof to be done so they didn't get covered in sawdust. And then obviously I'm still uncovering sawdust everywhere around me. Anyway, next comment and question comes from A Monster 8 My Mother. Brilliant! Love it! This was in response to listen to the classic sounds of the KORG M1, a video I did in August 2020. In fact, that was a video I did because I did it with a better sound interface. Anyway, A Monster 8 My Mother said, nice. I've had several years, I had the M1 for several years now, and only used the sequencer with some outboard gear, hence I've never investigated the sounds on the cards. Hence, I've got an M1 with 3 cards, 2 are the brass set and 1 is an orchestra program card. I'm looking for the orchestra PCM. Is there any chance I can download the PCM and copy it to a memory card? Well, unfortunately, the PCM card structure is different from the memory card structure. And the memory cards are designed to store your user data. And the way the M1 works is it reads the PCM data from the card that is inserted into the PCM slot on the synth, and then, but it does not copy the PCM data into the synth itself, and therefore it cannot be copied to a memory card. Now, I've been looking for years for someone that has a process for creating the ROM cards, but these guys seem to have given up and left the playing field. So if you do know somebody who has the equipment for creating ROM cards for either KORG or Roland, if you could drop me contact details, that would be really appreciated, because I'd love to actually get some ROM cards created or somehow back up some of the stuff I've got. Now, there have been individuals selling the MPC cards, which are the programs and combis for the M1, without the MSC cards, which are the PCM data cards for those programs. And to be honest, the MPC cards are pretty much useless if you want the original, how the original sound designer wanted the sequences and sounds to sound, if you don't have the MPC cards. So if you see one being sold without the other, don't buy it. It's a worthless purchase. Unless, of course, you've got the other card in the set, and therefore it might be a worthwhile purchase. But in general terms, don't purchase it. Buy them in sets of 2 cards. So, and there is a list on the internet of which ones were sold separately. Like the Bung May card was a separate card, whereas all the MPC 001, MPC 010, all those cards were sold as dual card sets. Now, I did think about trying the WaveX product, but I haven't figured out how to extract the PCM data from the PCM card. So I did think about another way of doing this, and unfortunately I kind of drew a bit of a blank on that as well. I'm not saying it can't be done, I just haven't figured out how to do it. I think is the way. It's a proprietary PCM card format. I haven't seen that card apart from the T1, the T series, the 01W series. None of the other synthesizers use this weird ROM card format that was used on the M1. So it is quite proprietary. Whereas if you go and look at the Roland cards and you look at the KORG cards, apart from the fact that the Roland cards have a shield on them, they're very, very similar in look and design. I suspect they're all based off the same kind of common chip design and then adapted for the synthesizer they're going into. Anyway, I hope that helps. Probably not a lot actually, but there you go. Next one comes from Walter Galindo in response to Yamaha DX7, unboxing the Yamaha DX7 2FD, a video I did in July 2023. Walter writes, John, I do have the carcass of a DX7 II in my house. It does look so much more modern than the original DX7. I love that keyboard. Good that it goes to 127. The only criticism I had is that it was a wasted opportunity to add internal FX to it. It would have extended the production for years. But then the SY line was the next thing. Too bad about that unit. It looked aesthetically good, in good condition. All crisp lettering, no scratches. Now, Yamaha did milk the DX7 platform for most of the 80s, with various other DX synth models being released from the mighty DX1 through other lesser DX models. All took the base functionality forward. At the end of the day, we ended up with the Yamaha DX7 Mark II 4 years later from the original. Although I suspect that was more a response to the imminent Roland D50 launch at the time, as opposed to moving the platform forward. Many of the upgrades included in the Yamaha SY series, the 77 and the 99, which appeared in the 1980s, were as a direct result of the DX7 lineage coming through the 80s. Now, I'm assuming you're using the term carcass because it's unfortunately not working, which is a real shame, because I think the Yamaha DX7 is a peachy synth.